Greetings, friends and foes, and welcome along to episode 48 of Keep Your Friends Close and Your Animes Closer with me, as always, your anime podcast host, Joel.
And me, as always, your anime podcast co-host, Robert.
And me, as always, your anime podcast guest, Curtis.
It's good to have you every week as a guest.
I'm so glad that you can make it along as a recurring guest. We've been really desperately trying to fill other guest roles, but nobody's interested.
Nobody's picked up the phone.
Reached out to so many anime. Actually, I haven't reached out to anybody. Have you been reaching out?
I thought you'd been doing
Oh,
it.
shit.
You're the social media manager.
Oh, yeah. Well.
I'm always free. I never seem to have bookings for some reason.
It's the end of the year, time of year.
Oh, I thought you were going end of the year as we know it. No.
I don't know what that song that is.
Oh.
I was thinking more like Festivus music.
Fair enough.
We thought that a good way to... this is an anime podcast. Jesus. This is a weird place to start. So we've been doing this for a year now. And we just thought it would be cool or fun to look back on all the shows that we've watched together during the podcast and see if our opinions have changed or maybe just solidified on any of the shows that we've watched. And then rank them because fucking numbers matter. So we thought that we'd start with that. And a segment I like to call On Reflection.
That's great. How did you come up with that?
I did initially name it On Reflection Jutsu, because to make it anime, but I
What's
thought
jutsu? Oh, that's
the Naruto thing.
Naruto thing.
Ninjas, they all do a jutsu.
Yeah, that's right. The reflection jutsu.
So long-time listeners of the podcast will know that we started the show watching Dragon Ball Z Kai and also the Dragon Ball Z movies.
Yeah, yep.
We only watched...
we were masochists. Okay. We decided it was a good idea that we would have to watch every movie, no matter how bad they were, every single time.
Well, you know...
We kept going, there's going to be one that's good.
Yeah, so that... I mean, Robert painted a pretty clear picture of our experience with Dragon Ball Z Kai. We only watched up to the Freezer arc before we almost literally went insane and decided that it was time to pull the plug on that endeavor, which was a good call, I think.
Well, it was a lot of content. We managed to stretch it for 22 episodes. We started off watching 3 episodes at a time, and then we were like, nothing's happening. Quite often, the fights go on for like 7 episodes, so we need to up this a bit.
Yeah.
Moved on to 4 episodes per week.
And then the last one was 6 episodes.
The last episode was just like, fucking let's get it all done now, because we're not stretching this over 2 episodes.
Yeah. Do you think that... So we all had a really bad experience. We all went, like, cabin crazy. Because it was the only thing... We weren't doing Weeb in Review. It was the only thing... Weeb in Review being the part where we talk about other shows that we've watched in the week. We were just going cabin crazy because all we were watching was Dragon Ball Z and we weren't enjoying it.
Yeah.
We were just reiterating how much we disliked it over and over again.
It's so consistently inconsistent that we were just bringing up the same points
over and over and over
again.
again.
Inconsistent it was. Just we were just flavouring it with the new characters that were introduced this week, and how the power creep with these characters were different to the power creep with the last ones.
We decided it was best to remove those episodes because they're basically unlistenable. Although my favorite, one of the most fun experiences I've had doing the podcast this year was episode 15 of this podcast, where so every week I tell you.
Roll the tape.
This is a clip show. I'm not going to dig it up.
We should definitely dig it up.
Just a whole episode.
Just put it in here with future Joel's popping in. If you want to skip episode 15.
I can't do that.
Just the intro. Just the first.
Just the intro.
We have to.
We have to.
We have to now.
Sure. Okay. What? Future Joel, edit that in for me. Love you, buddy. Yes, it's you. Hello. Welcome along, everybody, to Kif Kayak, the show where we try and make as many redundant points as possible about a show that people like. Here with me today... Oh, I'm sorry. I almost forgot to introduce myself. I'm your MC and host for this evening, Joel. Woo! Yes, thank you. with me tonight is... I'm sorry, your name, sir.
Hi there. I'm Robert. I'm from Yorkshire in England. Sorry, I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. No, that's okay, Robert. We get first timers every week. And also with me is sorry, your name, sir.
Curtis.
And where are you from?
Auckland.
Very nice. A local. Doesn't the crowd love that? Tonight, judges, what was the show that they were watching? Episodes 34, 35, and 36 of Dragon Ball Z Kai. Oh, a crowd favourite, apparently. Well, we have another little twist on the show tonight, folks. I will also be competing. Yes, I know. And as we know, we'll explain the rules very quickly. We try and rack up as many points by making redundant comments about the show that we watch. The points that don't need to be made, but we're going to make them anyway. As always, the points are made up, and the power scores don't matter. Let's get into it.
That was a time.
That was fun. So if you didn't get the joke from that inconsequential amount of time, we carried that bit of me being a game show host for the entire episode. Like we didn't plan that.
No. Joel sort of had that in mind and didn't tell Curtis, alright?
No, I didn't. I didn't come into it thinking it would last the whole show.
I think you just stayed.
Yeah. I felt a ball and I kept it rolling.
Right.
So that was fun.
That was fun.
But apart from that, we had a really bad experience with Dragon Ball Z Kai and also the movies. Have your thoughts and opinions or opinions changed?
No. I still think of Dragon Ball Z as inconsistent and self-indulgent.
I think that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, it is. That was spot on. Yeah, thinking about it makes me tired and a little frustrated.
By the end of it, I was watching them all on double time and not missing a thing.
No.
It's all screaming.
I feel the exact same. The next thing that we watched
as a palate cleanser between seasons
was Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which is technically, but not technically, the first Studio Ghibli film. Made by a lot of the same people who would, like, as soon as they finished Nausicaa, go on to form Ghibli.
Yeah.
We gave it middling reviews.
Yeah.
I don't have as much to say on it because it wasn't weeks and weeks of our lives.
My opinions on this have changed because I remember thinking of it as kind of meh, and now I'm looking back on it quite fondly.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, because I didn't have a great time with it. I was just kind of meh.
But the Ghibli effect.
Yeah. I think that I was about to disagree with you, but then I was about to say that's a part of the appeal of Ghibli. I mean, when you're thinking about the things that you like, I'm going to assume that it's like the world building and the kind of tone of the film that you're thinking back on as being like nice. Yeah. That is the main pull of the appeal of that movie. I think some of the pacing was frustrating for us when we watched it.
I remember that actually.
That would have been a frustrating part of it, but like.
But you don't remember that, or at least I'm not remembering that.
You're remembering the art direction and the concept of the big, huge
because the sort of the pastel colours come to mind, and the general art style of it, and how that looked really appealing. And the general plot of it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff I'm remembering. And the world building of the 3 different nations of humans that remain and how they're at war with one another.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess my opinions on that have evolved and improved. I would rate it higher now.
Yeah, I think you gave it a 6 and maybe you would bump it up to like a 7.
I think it'd be a 7 now at least. Maybe 7.5 something.
I think I gave it a 7 and I would lock mine in there. Has your opinions the same?
Yeah, I can't really remember what my opinion was. But I think, looking back at that film, I'd give it a 7.
Yeah.
I might have given it higher. But.
Consensus.
Then for season 2, we decided that in order to choose what we were going to do for season 2, we would start, the first episode of season 2 would be a potluck. So Curtis brought...
Lupin the Third.
Curtis brought Lupin the Third. Joel brought...
Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
And I brought Violet Evergarden. And we discussed them in the episode about which ones we liked and why we did and didn't like them. Joel decided that we shouldn't watch Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Which I regret because I really enjoyed it afterwards.
Later on he carried on watching it and enjoyed it.
Which ended up being the reason that we have the Weeb and Review segment because...
Yes.
So quick tangent. Part of the reason that we watched we started the show. We've talked about this before. I wanted to get Robert into anime, and Robert was interested in getting into anime. And Curtis was like, "Yeah."
He's like, I've watched anime.
I got some free time.
Yeah. I don't know why. I mean, when we were watching Dragon Ball Z, I wasn't really watching too much else. I was watching a little bit of other stuff, but we weren't talking about it on the podcast at all. But then, obviously, I had an in when talking about Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and that's where the segment came from, was me updating my thoughts on that and also a couple of other things that I was doing.
Yeah, it made sense because it gave me the opportunity to start watching other things outside of this podcast, which I needed to do if I was ever going to get into anime. Otherwise, my only anime was Dragon Ball Z and Nausicaa.
Yeah.
So I needed to start watching things. So I started watching. What was it? First ones were Yu-Gi-Oh! And Digimon, all like the famous ones that I needed to know.
Well, yeah.
I felt like I needed to know them.
It was like a crash course into New Zealand childhood anime.
And I was like, I'm really not getting into anime. It wasn't doing a lot to get me into anime.
No.
It was only when I got to something that I would have watched if it wasn't for the podcast, which was Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
That I actually got hooked on that just as a show rather than as an anime.
Yeah.
That I started going, okay, this is a medium that I can actually get into. But anyway, for season 2, we picked Violet Evergarden for season 2.
Can't remember why anymore. I think
it was the best of those 3.
Right.
You had recommended against Kobayashi, so it was either that or Lupin.
Yeah.
Lupin sounded like a lot of fun, but it sounded like we would get more out of Violet because it had more depth.
I think we would have struggled with Lupin. I watched a little bit more of it, and
I think we wanted something different from DBZ as well.
Oh yeah,
something more recent.
Yeah, it was going to be the most different from DBZ.
And then with Violet Evergarden, we had a real strong start, and then we fucking did not like it by the end of it. We
I listened to an anime YouTuber today, I can't even remember which one, just to sort of see their take on some of the things we watched, to see if my feelings on them had evolved. And he said that there was a lot of hype about Violet Evergarden before it came out because, like, at some anime con, some people had managed to get a preview of the first 3 episodes and had raved about it from the first 3. And I was like, that makes sense. Yeah. Because from the first 3 episodes, we were raving about it as well. We were like, this is going to be great. And then it didn't go anywhere with it. No. The character progression was too fast at parts and too slow at others. Well, and
I've thought about it a little bit more, and I think that to quickly summarize what my thoughts on the show are, is that it tries to be both a character study of not Violet, but just other people in the world. Yeah. Violet is just used as like a framing device for other stories. Yeah. While it also tries to have some of a plot. Like it bounces between being an anthology series and a plot-driven series. Some shows can do that. The show fails, in my opinion. I found some of the anthology stories interesting. Some of them were bad, just like outright boring. Yeah. But it's a good-looking show, and you can't fault the visuals, really.
Yeah, I have just the same feeling.
The writing is just
beautiful,
bad.
But let down by the writing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went on to watch a movie called Ninja Scroll.
And boy, was that a palate cleanser.
That was good.
Very different to Violet Evergarden, for sure.
Just an action movie.
It was so much more gory and X-rated than
X-rated, ooh.
Well, R-rated, whatever. X-rated. There were boobies, there was rape scenes, there was gore, violence.
Oh yeah, there was like 3 rape scenes, right? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It was not what I was expecting from Ninja Scroll. I was thinking like scrolls. Naruto or something. I was thinking it would be like ninjas in the same sort of shonen sort of format.
Yeah.
It was not.
That was almost like a Redline film, and like it was like an ambitious sort of project, right?
I don't think it wasn't as
not as ambitious.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not as ambitious, especially not in the animation. It was more just like, how many fucking weird ninja style people can we have fight this one dude in one movie? I still enjoy it for what it is. I think it's just a fun action movie with some interesting set pieces. Although the shadow guy really drops the ball. He dies so quickly.
Yeah. I looked into that one as well today, and I heard that they were for a while talking about a season 2 or like a mini series of it. And I watched a little teaser trailer that they made about it, and you can see the different demons that he has to fight in the next one's a motorbike demon and a bear claw demon.
Didn't happen.
And it just never happened, which could have been cool.
It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I think it would work better as a mini series as opposed to a movie because it was rushed for the hour and a half.
Because there were so many bad guys that he had to work his way
points.
through that, as you say, a few of them, the fight scene for it was like, well, kill him and on to the next guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would work. When I read the thing that says could be coming back as a season 2, I was like, oh, okay. And then I said something about its miniseries, and I was like, that would work a lot better.
Yeah. Oh well.
I don't really want to see the same thing though, just spread out.
True. My thoughts on that, I think, are pretty much the same. It was visually interesting. The plot was interesting enough, and it was alright.
Yeah.
It was just alright as an action film, really.
And then our moment of truth, where we really hit our stride and we fucking figured out what to do. Because when we started, I didn't give a fuck about this podcast like at all, and we were very bad at talking to each other, constantly talking over top of each other and yelling
we
and
never
shit.
do that anymore.
Revolutionary Girl Utena, which took up. It was about as long as we spent with Dragon Ball Z Kai. And what's happening? It's me. It's future Joel. I come from the darkest timeline. You're supposed to be. You guys didn't watch the movie, The Adolescence of Revolutionary Girl Utena. And everything falls apart. The world ends, and I become a man driving on a motorcycle
This isn't right.
through the wilderness trying to find the movie, and I can't find it. You have to watch it now. You have to.
I had so many questions. He looked old.
He did look old. That tends to happen when people are from the future. He had grey hair and everything. An eye patch.
He had he had a scar in his eyebrow. Something must hit you in the face quite hard. Or he joins a gang. Our YouTube commenters were right. We should have watched it.
I guess that we'll do that now. We watched The Adolescence of Utena.
Wow. They were right. We definitely needed to watch that.
I have no idea who that movie was for.
I am going to summarise it for everybody right now in the form of a stage play.
Oh.
So, setting the scene, there's a writer's room. Three guys sitting in there. Joe, Kurt, and Robin. And the Robin says to Joe,
"Hey Joe, so we've got about 20 hours of story in Utena, and we've got to compress it into like a 90-minute show, a 90-minute film.
Yeah, I hear you. What's the problem?
I feel like we should just go through. I've got these like little note cards. We need to write down just like everything that's important from the movie. So I've got the characters here. We've got that. Here's one that the story that Jury tells about the boy who drowns and saves the girl from drowning. The elevator that was important in Act 2.
Have we thought about how we're going to market this before you even start writing it? Have you thought about how you're going to market this? Seems kind of gay.
It is kind of gay. Yes, gayness. That was definitely one of the things. Gayness. We could
fix that.
We could probably up the gayness, don't you think? Like if we're
gonna make it more gay, we might as well make it a bit less gay. What about men like?
Cars.
Exactly.
There was that sports car in season 3. Yep, sports car.
Make it more sporty.
More sporty, more sports cars.
What if the gay girl, right?
Yeah.
Becomes a car.
She doesn't become a car in the show though.
What if the gay girl became a car and the other girl got inside her, so that's not as gay?
Get an insider. Yeah, I like that.
And then all the other people could become cars as well.
We've got. Okay, I'm not quite. Have you been watching Redline recently? Because that's. You've got.
Well, Redline hasn't come out yet. That's another 10 years in the future or so. So no, I haven't.
Okay, here we go.
Been watching a lot of Transformers though.
Oh yeah, that would work. Yeah, Transformers. There's incest. We've got to include that as well. And then
just a nod to it though. It's got to get in the movie theaters.
Here we go. Boobs. Underage boobs.
We can't have any female presenting nipples.
No, so we'll just make boobs but with no nipples.
I like the way you think,
works.
Robin.
All right.
That's why I hired you.
I think I've got a big stack of things that we need to include now. How should we put them in an order? Should we just
give them here?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like Casino Shuffle?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so we've done that. They're all shuffled up now. Cars do need to go at the end now.
Yeah, of course.
Palette cleanser.
Yeah.
So storyboard that for me, and I'll be back after lunch.
Brilliant.
And scene. That's what the story was.
Some weird accents for Japanese.
Well, this was the dub. This was the four kids dub.
So that's the movie.
Yeah, the movie.
Lots more like it was made explicit that Utena was sexually attracted to Anthe in this one. They had shared some lesbian kisses. They got naked a few times and rubbed boobs against boobs and things. And even though they're both 14, we got to see all of it.
Well, no female presenting nipples. They were just round spheres with no nipples on them.
Naked from the front, full frontal nudity.
Right.
They just had a smooth crotch like
And
a
their legs
Ken
were-
doll,
yeah.
and smooth boobs like a Barbie doll.
Interesting.
Yep.
I watched about 10 minutes of it, and I was like, I can see what they're doing.
Nope,
You couldn't.
No?
No, you absolutely
Nope.
couldn't.
Nope. I thought
So I
so
missed
too.
some stuff?
You missed.
Oh yes.
Utena, I wasn't joking. I mean, Joe wasn't. They weren't joking in that bit. Utena literally turns into a Formula One car at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Because she grabs Anthe by the hand and says, "We need to go to the outside world." And I was like, "That's a little on the nose," but yes, that's
You guys are considering that missing something?
Okay, so let's reframe how we're talking about this. I don't know who this movie was for.
Okay.
Because if it was for...
Utena fans.
If it was... I think it has to have been for Utena fans.
Yeah.
So much of it relies on knowledge of the TV show.
Yeah.
Because I don't... Like, I watched it with my girlfriend. I was like, oh, like, it summarizes it. You don't have to have seen the TV show. I'm sure that you'll get it.
Yeah.
She was so lost by the end of it. She thought it was really fun to watch because it was really good look. It was a well-produced show. But she could not follow anything that happened.
I watched the whole of Utena and I couldn't follow it. So I was like,
Okay.
I can see that this part is alluding to the duelist sort of arc when she's fighting Jury and that.
Yeah.
But it's honestly like
2 seconds.
yeah, they just said we need to have duelists in there, and then they just put it in for like a scene.
Yeah.
And we need to have the elevator in there where she goes into the regressive Vader thing, and
They made Toga be a ghost. Like, he's dead.
Yeah.
He's not actually alive.
and he's her ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
And he was the boy who died saving the other girl from drowning that Jury happens to have mentioned in an offhand way.
Nanami isn't in it.
Okay.
Nanami's not in it except for a cow. She's in it as Nanami cow.
Exactly. Shara, my girlfriend had no idea what was happening during that whole scene.
Yeah.
Right.
She's like sucking Choo-Choo up her nose.
Not on
as
purpose.
Nanami cow, and he's getting stuck in a nostril, and then she sucks up this other creature that's like a Choo-Choo but with longer mouth that we've never met before. And where the fuck has that come from?
So, to summarize, a couple of things that I think they made some of the themes more clear. Like, they made the way that the school is directed is like this non-Euclidean, almost MC Escher Bauhaus drawing. It makes it very clear that this is not a physical space.
Yes.
Because there's no way that this could exist.
Yeah.
Which is good for making it like a conceptual, like there is it's a state of mind rather than an actual school.
Suppose that's kind of what the background art in the TV show was trying to do in a way as well.
You should see some of the background art in the movie. It is insane.
Okay.
They also make it, and also Utena says we need to go to the outside world, like we need to leave this place.
And they're racing along on the road, and the prince appears in front of the car, and he's like, "Come with me," and he's
go
like,
back.
"You're only a prince in this world. I need to get to the outside world."
Yeah.
So they're like really making it clear.
Okay.
Hey guys, in the show, a lot of you didn't get it.
Yeah.
But the school was
Not
a
real.
metaphor and not real, and there's an
Okay.
outside world that they leave to at the end of the school.
Yeah.
So, I do want to, because the biggest change obviously is the final scene where Utena literally turns into a car. Also, Akio like commits suicide, kind of, but not really. He like falls over the ledge. I don't want to talk about that though. We'll just skip past it. Utena turning into a car was one of the most out of nowhere things I could not have seen that coming. And then they're like racing along the road to get out of the school. The obvious metaphor there, in my opinion, is that Utena is a vehicle for Anthe to grow up, which is what I didn't use the word vehicle, but they were like direct metaphor.
Which I was kind of on board with.
Yeah.
Until Shiori, Jury's girlfriend, starts racing up alongside her, and she's just an empty car, and she's driving herself, and the number plate says Shiori, and then she says, what, you didn't think you were the only one who could turn yourself into a car? I'm a car now. And then they start like bashing into each other, James Bond car chase style, and then she crashes and dies, and then this swarm of thousands of other black cars just start chasing her down.
Right.
And this massive like monster truck thing gets in front of her.
That's the that's supposed to be the palace, which is not even in the movie really. But the other people are also just like vehicles that act as distractions, like things that would take you back or stop you from getting to where you want to go. I thought that it was a messy metaphor, but I think I understood what they were trying to say. I liked the movie as an extension of the TV show. As a standalone thing, it does not work.
No, yeah.
No way should anybody watch it if they haven't seen the show, especially if you didn't like the show, you will not like the movie.
So I think you said before, but so you would say that this movie was made to just clarify something,
but also like it doesn't, like it's not, because I know that you guys haven't seen all of or whatever for Neon Genesis Evangelion, but the end of Evangelion, the movie that came out after the show, like clarifies what happened in the last 2 episodes. There's big action set pieces. It's very direct with what's happening with some ambiguity. This is like as confusing and as dense of a metaphor as the TV show, but almost more muddied because it tries to introduce other plot elements and the cast is too big to get through in 1.5 hours.
They cut out a lot of the cast, like Nanami and her little boyfriend's out of it, and all of the Mikage and the Mikage seminar, and
Wakaba is barely in it.
Wakaba's basically not in it. What's Mikage's the Anthe's other form called? The little bloke guy? What's he called again?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
That like whole second arc has basically disappeared except for the elevator.
I can understand.
In the elevator, they just show as her talking to Toga,
who's a ghost,
as he like drowns in his side of the elevator, which is really well done and really cool. It was they just like chopped and changed and went, this part was important from the TV show, but we're not going to explain it or clarify it so much.
Well,
it's just...
I had a quick read to figure out whether Toga is supposed to be dead in the TV show. He's not.
Yeah, I wondered.
Which was good.
I was like, holy shit, we really missed something.
Yeah,
this is what they're trying to clarify.
No, he's not dead in the TV show. That was them trying to, like you say, tie together some plot points.
But they did say, they were saying that he was like her prince that originally gave her the ring and stuff, right? In the manga,
and
the whole Prince Dios Akio thing is
basically
gone,
not explored enough. In the manga, Toga is just Utena's love interest,
right?
And there's very little, allusions to Utena and Anthe being gay. It's like Anthe and Utena Utena leaves the school and Anthe leaves to try and find her, but Toga is like, please bring her back, and like, she's the one I like. So, I don't know.
One question about it. Did they allude to Toga being raped as a kid?
Yeah, they did. That was a strange addition to his backstory.
Yeah,
he was the only one who had anything bad happen to him in his childhood.
Wow.
They showed him as a kid being like sold by his dad to some other guy who wanted a kid or something. Because he says, I was told to grow my hair out long when I was a kid because he wanted it that way or something. And then it shows his dad like turning up to this fancy elevator with this guy waiting in it with like a cigar holder or whatever. And then a couple of scenes later you see like a scared Toga in like ripped clothing and stuff running through a forest, and then that guy who's just bought him effectively like grabs him and pins him down in the field, and you're like, what the fuck are you showing us and why? Could have done with a little bit more focus. That's my main note. The driving scene didn't have to be quite as long. I think that it could have worked as a metaphor if it didn't take up 10 minutes. Yeah.
That show deals with a lot of shit. And it's almost like they had to say it all as weird metaphors because you can't make a show aimed at kids about crazy, awful stuff.
So my thoughts on the show, I think I gave it a 9. I was like coming in hot because I thought I'd had it all figured out. Upon reflection, I think I would have liked it to be a bit more direct, which we talked about when we did our wrap up anyway. But I still really enjoyed the show. I enjoyed a lot of the art direction. So I'm still a big fan of it. It's only that I think I am more firm in my opinion that I would like it to be more direct. If you guys' thoughts or opinions changed on the show, Utena, Revolutionary Girl?
I liked it, and then until the last few episodes when it became clear that we weren't going to get answers that were sufficient for my taste. And so then I hated on the last few episodes, and it kind of tainted the whole thing a little bit for me. And since then, I feel like my opinions are much the same. I've tried reflecting on it and understanding it a little bit more. I've read a few things about it, and I've watched a couple of videos about what people think of it, and I just feel like everybody's kind of justifying it in ways that aren't satisfying to me. So
that's fine. Curtis?
I want to ask what ways.
Just in all the ways that I had problem with in the first time, like it was just not clear and things, and people are justifying it by saying saying that what they took from it and saying that was clear.
I think we had that discussion.
It's clear what the guys wanted because blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's your interpretation of that, and that's not clear. It's not an obvious thing that the writers were saying. Like, I was really on board with how Joel justified it. I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But even that was like, that could be just Joel justifying it in his way, and that might not have been the interpretation of the writers when they were making it.
Yeah.
And that I didn't like.
Yeah.
And I still
it's
don't
like abstract art. Like you take away what you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I still like it. I think it challenged me, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed having. I would never normally watch a show like that. I am more like, just give me the action and shit. Just tell me what you're doing. So I liked seeing that you could tell stories and tell ideas through different ways. Yeah.
You enjoyed being mentally challenged.
Yeah. I enjoyed being mentally challenged.
I have a similar opinion. I hadn't seen a show like it before either, and I enjoyed being challenged, but I also enjoyed it more than both of you. But I mean, I've seen a couple shows that challenged me this year. I didn't like them as much, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on, I think.
And then as a palate cleanser, we watched Redline.
I still like that movie.
If we hadn't watched if we hadn't watched the movie, it wouldn't have been a good palate cleanser because it was just more cars racing and beating each other up with nitro and stuff. I still dislike that movie, even after watching Super Eye Patch Wolf's video on why it's the best movie and stuff. I agreed with what he said about the visuals. You can't deny that it's visually amazing, beautiful. When they do put in a nitro capsule and blast off and the car stretches out and they play with all that perspectives and stuff, that's gorgeous. But the story was very lacking. The characters were underdeveloped.
Well, that speaks, I think both of those 2 points, Utena and Redline, they both have that in common for you. That speaks to what you're looking for in your media, right? Like you're looking for a compelling narrative that has either like a clear character drama or a clear message that is trying to send. It's not that you don't want to be challenged, but you want it to be obvious what the author's intent is. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Cool. I wasn't trying to step on your toes. I was just like,
fair to say.
I just noticed the similarity.
I enjoy things with. I do enjoy in ensemble pieces if the characters are all well developed.
Critical Role.
Yeah, Critical Role. I really enjoyed the first 2 seasons of Lost because it was there was so many characters and they were all
this is a Lost fan cast.
It comes back to it for good and bad reasons. I really enjoy Attack on Titan. Lots of characters in that, lots of drama and stuff. So if the characters are all fleshed out, it works really well for me. But with Redline, there were so many characters and so little time to focus on any one of them.
Yeah. What are we talking about? Redline?
Redline, yeah.
It's good. Go see it.
Short and to the point.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, we've just finished watching Hosuke no Kuni, Land of the Lustrous. It's been a week. I don't even. It's been so recent. It was like last episode, right?
Thoughts on that? Still
Fucking.
still fine.
Yeah, it was fine. It was the first season of a show. I enjoyed it as a character drama. Just like one sentence, Curtis.
One sentence. Gem people, they are fragile and need love.
It was almost
so
a
phone
hype
up now.
Oh.
Send in $40 and
Your $40
we'll save a gem person
of phosphophylite so that he.
We got rare gems, common gems, shiny gems, old gems, young gems.
If you call now, I was doing an Oxfam bit, but he's done it into a QVC.
Yeah.
That's what you were doing. Because you were like, "These gems need love."
Yeah.
And I just thought of like Daya and her cute little kimono. His cute little kimono. Robert, one sentence summary of your thoughts on the show.
A good first season.
Perfect. Now, oh fuck!
No,
No, I'm cutting that.
Jesus.
That was bad. Just turned into a squeaky duck. And now the moment that you've all been waiting for. Now that you have a context for everything that we've watched this year, we are going to round robin style find the anime of 2018, or as I would like to call our grand spiral champion, starting with who wants to go first?
You.
Cool. The anime that I'm going to cut, bottom of the barrel, worst anime of 2018 was by far Dragon Ball Z and the Tree of Might.
Oh yeah.
No, I take it back.
Wait,
Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Dead Zone. Dead Zone was definitely the worst.
I knew that's what you meant.
Go with Lord Slug.
Lord Slug. Agreed here. No arguments. That was going to be my choice.
I was going to say, no, that's fine. I'm not going to argue the point. I'm going to save my argument for later on.
Sorry.
Memorable moment from Lord Slug was the little gremlin boy, but that's it.
For me, the next one would be the Tree of Might.
Yeah,
Gone.
Which only leaves the
Sorry,
world.
that's Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
These are all Dragon Ball Z so far.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
The world's strongest. Get rid of that. Get that out of here. That's second Dragon Ball Z movie. Oh no! Wait, no. Can I take it back? I take it back. Father of Goku.
Nah, you've already said it.
No, Father of Goku
is way better than World's Strongest. You've already said it.
He's a bad man.
Well, yeah, Frieza arc.
Frieza arc. Oh, it's gone before Father of Goku. All right, so now I have to decide: am I getting rid of every bit of DBZ before anything else? But to be fair, I actually preferred Bardock, Father of Goku, to the Adolescence of Utena. So I would argue that the Adolescence has to go next.
Oh, that I'm gonna let you have that one, but I'm gonna dig my heels in later on.
It's gone.
Okay. Father of Goku goes next.
We're down to.
We should be numbering these.
We're down to 6. The final 6.
I'm struggling between Violet Evergarden and Ninja Scroll.
Which one did you like more? Violet Evergarden forced you to take 4 weeks out of your life to watch it, whereas Ninja Scroll was only 1.
I did like a couple episodes of Violet Evergarden more than Ninja Scroll, I think. So I'm going to say Ninja Scroll.
Ninja Scroll's gone. All right, final 5. Revolutionary Girl, Utena, Redline, Land of the Lustrous, Violet Evergarden. It's got to be Violet Evergarden.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Yes. Oh, this is an interesting mix. I am going to get rid of Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, I think, next.
Really? Oh, I would go Redline, but then again...
Yeah, no, that's fine.
You liked it. All right, final 3. We've got Revolutionary Girl, Utena, Redline, and Land of the Lustrous. Which one's going to make it into 3rd place? Bronze. These are all...
Okay. It's so hard judging a series and a movie. Because I think Redline is
They both Redline. They're gone.
They offered different things.
Yeah.
It's just which one did you enjoy more or less?
Did I enjoy more or less? It was just so easy to watch Redline because it only took 2 hours. And it was just like eye entertainment. I'm I'm gonna say Land of the Lustrous.
Whoa!
You're gonna get rid of that one! Oh my god! I definitely thought that would get silver at least.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
I'm very
Okay,
torn between
wow.
those two.
Alright, which means Redline goes and...
Utena takes the top
takes
spot.
the win.
I was ready to argue for...
Were you gonna argue for Utena?
Yeah, I thought
Lustrous.
this was...
Yeah, because are we gonna give a bronze?
Yeah, so just to recap, that happened really quickly. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd like mentally prepared myself in the mirror, you know, like rehearsing lines to fight for Utena to have a higher spot because I thought that you guys hated it so much.
No.
And same with I didn't think Redline was due as well.
No, neither did I. Wish it hadn't.
And Land of the Lustrous. So just to recap, our top 3 anime are in this order: Land of the Lustrous, Redline, and Revolutionary Girl Utena at number 1, none of which came out this year.
Yeah. This is all our anime of the year because we didn't watch... Did we watch anything from this year, though?
Violet Evergarden.
Oh, that was from this year? I thought that was 2017. I think it was.
Might have been.
Yeah, I think it was. So our anime of the year was none of them were 2018.
Relevant.
A professional podcast.
If we'd included things that we watched if we included things we watched as side projects from Weeb in Review, maybe we'd have got 1 or 2 things from this year.
I don't think I watched anything from... Oh, no, I did. I watched a couple things as they were coming out, but not as good. Wow, that was not as tense as I thought it would be, so there you go. Revolutionary Girl Utena is our grand spiral... Wait, what? It's another challenger approaches? Another anime that we've all seen? It can't be. It's Tenga Top and Gurren Lagann. Tenga Top and Gurren Lagann coming in from the side. Which one is better? Tenga Top and Gurren Lagann or Revolutionary Girl Utena?
God, no. They both went downhill at the end for me. I really enjoyed both of them to begin with. And then went downhill. Tenga Top and Gurren Lagann was a lot less convoluted. A lot less to say. A lot less metaphor. A lot more machines. Fighting machines.
Curtis, thoughts on Tenga Top and Gurren Lagann?
It's more me.
I think that while Revolutionary Girl Utena is our anime of the year 2018, Tenga Top and Gurren Lagann is our grand spiral champion.
Revolutionary Girl Utena, I'm gonna let you finish. But my boy Tenga Top and Gurren Lagann had the best show of the year.
4 more years. I'm not sorry.
But, Joel, that might be the anime of the year, but I really want to know, who would have been the best partner out of all the people that we've met? Who would have been the best spouse?
Do you mean the best waifu or husbandu? Hashtag we don't judge. Hashtag change it to spousu of the year. That's right!
Nice.
Spousu!
Spousu of the year.
Spicy spousu.
So out of all of the shows that we watched, we have compiled a list. I will read all the candidates out. Nobody under the age of 14, so basically all of Revolutionary Girl Utena is a non-contestant because they're all in high school still. Although technically in New Zealand the legal age of consent is 16, so
you could have picked 16-year-olds if we wanted.
could have picked Toga.
Could have been Toga, yeah. Alright, from DBZ, the contenders were...
Goku, Chi-Chi, Piccolo, Bulma, and Vegeta.
Do we want
we'll just read down the whole list.
From so do we want to pick the best from each category and then put them against each other?
I think we just do round robin again, just getting rid of the worst, and so that we're not judging based on show.
Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind.
You put Nausicaa, she's 14.
Is she?
Yeah, got to get rid of her. She's not on the list. Out of here. Lord Yupa, which is it, just that old guy.
The only guy.
We all watched at least one episode of Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, so Kobayashi rather than Toru from that show. Violet Evergarden, Claudia Hodgins, Katlia Baudelaire, Major Gilbert's on there.
Major Gilbert Bougainvillea.
Okay.
We don't know that he's dead.
True, he's not dead. He's helping raise cows on a farm somewhere. And Iris, from Ninja Scroll, we have Joby and Kagero. Revolutionary Girl Utena, we have... Toga's now on there. Akio and Tokiko. Sweet JP from Redline is the only advocate from there. And in Hoseki no Kuni, we have Foss, Daya... Ooh, Sensei. Cinnabar and Rutil. Right off the bat, I I know that I went first last time, but I think it's very important that we name and shame Goku as worst dad.
The worst
Like,
dad.
the worst dad.
Let's talk about what are the rules of spouse of the year.
Okay,
is it the
criteria.
person that you would most want to be married to?
Yes, it has to. So this is like a long-term relationship.
You need to be in a committed relationship with this person.
Presumably, eventually, you'll have kids with them.
Right. So yes, Goku would be, if not the worst, definitely one of the worst, because he is such a bad dad and he cares a lot more about himself and training than his wife or kid.
Are we all in agreement that Goku, at the very least, is the
worst spouse of the
proven
year.
to be the worst spouse? Doesn't like his wife, doesn't listen to her, doesn't give a shit about his kid, lets him run off into the wilderness.
Endangers them both, I'm sure. Yeah, all that stuff.
Goku worst dad of
gone.
2018.
Okay.
All right. Why don't you start, Curtis?
What am I? Are we just
Getting
eliminating?
somebody who
Get
you
rid of
wouldn't want to be
anyone.
the spouse of.
Okay, who wouldn't I want to be? Vegeta.
Vegeta,
Oh,
yeah,
man,
pretty nasty guy.
I think Vegeta is not the bottom, but
from what we saw of him, we can't go past the Freezer arc if he
Damn.
has a redemption or anything after that.
Yeah.
It's not allowed.
fair enough.
I saw how he treated his best friend.
Yeah.
Just weak, eradicated him.
Yeah.
Akio's got to be next because he's a manipulative piece of shit
Rapist.
and a rapist and a
True.
child rapist and all of
Yeah. Toga, because of the same reasons.
that. Toga is also manipulative.
And also he's like
awful.
17 and I'm like 25 and I don't have to deal
Yeah.
with that bullshit. You won't believe what happened to me in school today. Curtis.
Me. Sweet JP.
Gambling,
gone.
gonna have all your money gone.
Bulma, way too whiny and whingy and annoying, shouting, angry.
I would have thought Chi-Chi, but at least she's invested in your kid.
Yeah.
Lord Yupa because he's old and he'll die too early.
He's pretty
And he's-
agile though. You saw he took out
but
them guys in the suits.
I don't want to
of
get
armor.
married to somebody if they're just going to die in 5 years. Like, that's going to break my
Have
heart.
all the money.
He's got no money. He's a
Oh,
wanderer.
damn
That's
it.
the
Yeah,
other thing.
true.
He's like
Alright.
worse than a pilot.
Get
He's got
out
no
of
money.
here. Can't gold dig if you're homeless.
Cinnabar? Have we?
No, you can get rid of Cinnabar if you want. They're alone.
Cinnabar.
Yeah.
They're not emotionally available.
Not emotionally available,
exactly.
and also
Poisonous.
good chance of dying when you touch them in any way. Oh, for that same reason, let's get rid of Kagero.
Yeah, because we're not like super immune. Like.
We're not immune to her poisons if we touch her in the slightest.
Major Gilbert because either he's dead or he is working for terrorists or he's running a farm raising cows. So I'm not interested in either of those three things.
So Gilbert's gone. Over to you, Curtis.
Piccolo.
No!
What?
No, not Piccolo. I'm putting my foot down. Not he doesn't go yet.
Okay, what? One reason?
He's a very good dad to Gohan.
That's right.
He accepts responsibility.
He does have a very good, very solid redemption arc in what we've seen of the Freezer arc, so he's a good guy by the end of it.
Okay.
You're
I'll
redacting
take that.
Piccolo. All right, we've got Chi-Chi, Piccolo, Kobayashi, Claudia Hodgins, that was the lieutenant from Evergarden. Kaguya, the ex-stripper.
Joby, right? Because he's...
Joby was the ninja squirrel.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, Joby.
He's a wandering guy.
Yeah.
You can never tie him down.
Again, common with the three that we just got rid of. They're not emotionally available.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get rid of Sensei because he's always capable of giving support and love to the people
withholds
around
it.
him, but he withholds it on purpose, and
Toxic.
he's too secretive.
I'm going to get rid of Tokiko from Revolutionary Girl Utena because we don't really know that much about her other than she's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
And while that would be nice, I'd rather have like a good relationship with somebody.
I'll go with Claudia.
Claudia. All right, Claudia Hodgins from Violet Evergarden.
Yeah,
The
because...
Lieutenant President guy.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Let's see. Who would I... These are all getting pretty good now. Are we going with Foss as is now with his adaptations?
End of season 1.
Kind of gets a little bit despondent. Kind of be a bit depressing to be around him.
Yeah, but like, think of what those appendages could do.
True.
They could really fill you up.
Oh yeah, get that golden job. Do you want a gold job? Rutiel seems pretty fun, and Dia's
Plus, if
really
you're
Dia's
low
really
on
cute.
money,
Take a finger.
Yeah, or a toenail or just something. It's platinum hybrid.
Alright, we'll keep him on there then. Iris was pretty cute. I quite liked her. Cadelia's gorgeous. Kobayashi, I don't know much about. I think Kobayashi's next. No, actually, I'm going to take that back and say Chi-Chi.
Yes, thank you.
Chi-Chi's gone.
I don't want to get rid of Kobayashi yet because I know that you didn't finish the show, but she proves to be a good partner.
Right.
And I'm like into her as a partner, even though she's not that attractive. So the one that I'm going to get rid of next, Robert, I'll let you decide, Katlia or Iris. I would rather get rid of Iris.
It's your choice. You
Okay.
get rid of Iris then.
I'm getting rid of Iris. Reason being that she seems a little bit petty still for her age.
Right, yeah.
And
She holds on to that grudge against the parents and stuff.
well, even with Violet, I know that they end up resolving it, but she's very cold towards Violet and just kind of not respectful because she's like autistic.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So we're down to the final 6 now.
How are we saying that? Rutiel.
The Doctor.
The Doctor.
She's a bit sadistic.
Yeah.
She likes to cut things up and dissect them and things, even the cute little Pomeranian.
Very disconnected from...
so top 5 are Piccolo, Kobayashi, Katlia, Foss, and Daya.
Out of those, I would get Piccolo's still kind of an angry kind of a guy.
He's a hunk though. He's got
He
stretchy
is,
arms.
true, he is very hunky. He's got the very muscle, yeah. Are you gonna fight me on Kobayashi?
Oh no. No, I won't.
Kobayashi's gone.
Yeah. I'm gonna get rid of Katlia because I don't think that she would be a good spouse.
Right.
She's attractive and she seems to earn a lot of money, but again, she travels a lot, which would bum me out personally.
True. Yeah.
And also she's a bit of a
guys
flirt.
fawning on her, yeah.
Yeah, she's a bit. Well, it's not necessarily that other guys are fawning on her. It's that she's a flirt that would upset me because I'm insecure like that.
All right, so top 3 are going to be Piccolo, Foss, and Daya. Which one are you getting rid of, Curtis? Which one's getting bronze?
I'll get rid of Foss.
Foss is gone. Bronze.
Get rid of that gold job.
Gold. He's already got gold. Now he's getting bronze. Daya or Piccolo. Who's going to take the top spot? I'm gonna. Joel really wants Piccolo.
No, I didn't think he would make it this far. I'm so surprised at these turn of events. Can I make an argument for Piccolo as opposed to Daya?
Okay.
Sure.
Daya is cute and attractive, but she's quite
An odd, mate.
an odd. She's well-odd.
But she's 10 on the Moz scale.
She's not as tough as Piccolo.
She's odd.
I think that she's kind of weak as a personality. She doesn't seem to have a lot of interests, but maybe you could get her into stuff. I don't know. I think that the only reason that you would pick Piccolo is I'm arguing with myself now. Piccolo would be a supportive father, but maybe you wouldn't have to worry about money or kids with Daya because she's not going to give you any kids. Whereas Piccolo's just going to like spew up a baby at some point.
That's a good point.
You can adopt.
Good.
I don't think Piccolo is the kind of person that you'd... Well, like, I would find... No. Well, I don't see him wanting to be in a relationship.
True.
I think he would go off and meditate by a waterfall for years.
True.
And just wouldn't be in spending time with you. Whereas I think Daya had, like, a lot of empathy and companionship and a lot of understanding, you know? Which I think goes a long way.
You've convinced me. I was just going to get rid of Daya. Like, my thumb was right over it.
Yeah.
But then Piccolo just wouldn't be a good partner. He'd be a good dad, but he's too distant.
I agree.
So Piccolo takes silver.
Daya takes the top
The
spot.
top spot.
Nice.
Woo! I don't want to picture having sex with her though, because that would be very painful.
It'd just be like a really
Just be
a cold hand job. Yeah. You know that you can, if you have an erect penis and you ram it against a hard solid object, you can fracture it.
The hard solid object.
Fracturing.
No, your penis. I don't know about
How hard my thing is. To fracture diamond.
What's harder?
Yeah.
Alright.
That was a bit of
the
fun.
year. Daya.
I think that's all the categories. That's basically it. Now the only thing that's really left to talk about, the most important thing, It's
Fake views! So Fake Views is a segment every week where I, as the anime noob, pick or come up with a few different synopses for animes. They could be real or made up, and my co-hosts have to work out whether they're real or fake. And because they should know more than me, if they get them wrong, I laugh at them. In keeping with the year in reflection, I have actually given you guys an advantage this week by picking synopses that we've already done.
Oh no.
So it should be easier for you, but therefore it should also be more embarrassing if you get them wrong.
So are they ones that I've given as well?
Perhaps.
Oh shit.
For those who don't know, Joel was the one who started doing this segment, and then I stole it from him.
Because I was a lazy bitch.
So, let me get up my notes for the first one. At the start of a new school year, the over-energetic main character rushes to the school, proclaiming her desire to become a successful actress. Once back from school, she finds her parents and their robot dog crucified by an alien with peculiar genitalia.
That should be ringing a bell.
It's
I may have...
You've tweeted them.
You've
tweaked them.
Okay.
Sorry, there's a dog with peculiar genitalia?
No, the robot dog and her parents have been crucified by an alien with peculiar genitalia.
You're throwing me off.
Would you like a bit more?
Yeah, it sounds similar to something, but...
She stays with her friend, whereupon it turns out that her friend and her sisters are actually a team of superpowered heroines.
You definitely didn't do this, which means that I did it. Which means I have awful memory.
There's one more piece I can give you, but then yeah.
I'll almost certainly get it. Okay, no, don't do it. I'll give you the answer, and then I want to hear it after Curtis gives his answer. I want to go... Wait, who has the peculiar genitalia again? Is it the alien? The alien does. Fuck. What the fuck? It sounds like Puni Puni Poemi with the dead fish. I'm going to go real.
So this is... So you've modified this, but it's based on something that's real? Or...
No, we don't know if it's real or
Either.
fake.
Or...
So either if it was originally a fake one, right?
Yeah.
I have just tweaked it a little bit, keeping it fake.
Okay.
Or if it was a real one, I've kept it real. Everything I've told you is correct. I've just told you I've emphasized different parts of the show that Joel didn't emphasize in his one.
Okay, I'm going fake.
After she discovers her friends superheroes, she discovers a magic talking fish. She turns into a magic one.
I knew it.
Oh my god.
Puni Puni Poemi.
It's real.
It's the very first one that we did for this segment. Joel did it. It is real.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I didn't read the part about the genitalia.
Yeah.
That really threw me.
I know, that's why I put it in. I was like, he didn't say this in his one.
That's insane.
Because at the time we were like, that's too crazy, that's got to be real.
Right.
And he didn't even mention aliens with peculiar genitalia in it. That's how crazy it is. Alright, one day, after discovering a secret chapel, the main character is possessed by a spirit of an ancestor. He's also granted the ability to see ghosts. Using his newfound wisdom, he must avenge his ancestor, while protecting his family from other spirits.
I think you should go first, because I went first last time, Curtis.
I'm gonna go with real.
I'm going to go with fake.
Why?
I think you should reveal first, and then I'll give my reason.
It is fake. It's the one that you came up with the grandfather.
Yeah, I remember writing that one.
Yes, I wondered if I changed it just enough that you might
Just
have.
isn't gonna work for me.
That would have made me most proud if I could get Joel to think one of his own fake animes was real.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Would have been good.
All right. The bad guys' secret underwater lair is impenetrable to the spy equipment of the good guys, until they learn that the main bad girl is horny for sea creatures.
Fake.
Swear that sounds like a real one. Real.
It's fake.
Okay.
I made that one up.
Yeah.
All right, bonus one, just because it's the last one of the year. A young man has the ability to hear people's innermost thoughts. As a child, he was thought to be possessed, so he was banished from his village.
Wait, have we done this one?
I feel like you're...
Oh, real. That one's real.
Yes.
I wonder how that's throwing me.
Are you on 3-0 at the moment?
Yeah.
So if you go opposite to him, you'll either get a point back.
Gonna go fake.
You're gonna go fake?
Yeah.
Curtis gets a point back! It is
Oh,
fake!
fuck.
That was... I thought that this one might get you because it wasn't me that made it up. It was a friend of mine. It's just one of the ones that I had to outsource as dictated by the dice gods. He becomes a wandering healer that settles disagreements in exchange for food and shelter.
Had you done that one before?
Yep.
You had?
I have done that one before.
I thought that was a real one, but you changed like a tiny detail to make it fake.
I did that with the werewolf one, the one that was actually a vampire.
Speaking of, I looked at a couple of Sakuga clips from Bakemonogatari. I need to fucking watch that show. That show looks like a lot of fun.
Cool. Hey, I managed to not get swept by either of you. So Joel, you kept the belt.
Yeah, of course I did.
For the rest of the summer holidays, you get to keep that belt.
This is true.
If any of you have been avid listeners and managed to remember all 4 of those,
impressive.
Yeah, write us in and I'll post you Joel's belt.
Let's move into looking to the future / wrap up. I think that there was music there. If there wasn't music, there was just a clap. So,
are you gonna do a looking to the future?
Oh, I should do a looking to the future, right?
The future, right?
Okay. Leave me a beat. We are still here after 1 whole year, and we're looking to the future. It's looking bright. We got anime people, and we got the fight.
Rewind.
I think that's an apt way of ending the show.
It wraps up our year. It was okay.
And it also wraps up the show. What a way to announce that we are not going to do the show anymore.
That's the wrap. That's a wrap, everybody.
That's the wrap. We've all found the show fun to differing degrees. But Robert, I'm not going to say for you.
I have found it difficult with time management this year, and I'm only halfway through my degree. So when I start doing 3rd level papers next year, I know that it'll just get way too much to be having this as a commitment as well. I've already let slip all the other things that I was doing outside of the actual watching and recording of the podcast. I used to be social media manager and doing all the social media stuff, making memes for Reddit and all that stuff. And I just haven't done any of that lately, just with time pressures. So I know it's just going to get worse from here, and couldn't afford to keep going with the podcast, really.
And you want to be focused on D&D.
Yeah, I've got it. I'm sure you want me to be focused on D&D.
Oh, well, I mean, I never said that.
It just happens to work out in your favour.
Listen, my player character has a crush on an NPC, and he's got to travel across to get to her, and also some other shit. He's a busy guy. And he only exists when you decide he exists.
Yeah, when I'm free, he exists into my mind.
Wait, what about Curtis? Do you have any thoughts on wrapping the show? I love it.
Brilliant.
No, I don't have any thoughts. I've enjoyed doing the podcast. Did we say that?
Yeah,
everything we're saying?
Yeah,
I don't know.
But you don't want to do it next year.
Not doing it next year, basically because Rob's not doing it, and he's let the team down. So
I've really dropped the ball on this one. They couldn't keep going without my fake view.
The real, I mean,
I think the real answer is because I'm a really bad podcaster. I don't know how to speak into a microphone, and
I mean, yep, that's a fair reason to stop. I mean, the real reason that we're stopping is because it was my job as everybody's senpai to teach them a love, or at least give them a palate for anime, and I have absolutely failed. I have 100% failed.
I found Attack on Titan for myself, and that was great.
Well, I mean, I recommend
you did.
I did recommend that. I think that
you've done a good job in some things. You introduced me to Death Note. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
You introduced me to Attack on Titan.
Are you still watching Full Metal Alchemist?
I am. I've not watched too much more of it yet, and I'm still not hooked on it yet.
Okay, fair enough.
I imagine I will be eventually.
Yeah, I would be surprised if you don't enjoy it by the end of it. And not in the same way with Gurren Lagann. But yeah, Robert, I should have guided him more. I shouldn't have let him do his own thing. I should have just told him what to watch the current stuff. Don't watch Cardcaptor Sakura and Naruto. You don't need to. So yeah, I mean, I fucked up.
So Senpai failed us.
Yeah, all my fault. But
hey, we had fun. We had fun along the way.
Well, no, I was gonna say I've almost doubled the amount of anime that I watched this year. Which, I mean, don't ask me how I did it because I don't know how I found the time. A couple of honorable mentions that I want to make. This year I read Berserk. I would highly recommend everybody read that. I mean, its praise is well earned. I don't want to overhype it because I do that with everything. Oyasumi Punpun, I just finished that. Those 2 manga. Oh, and Dr. Stone, heck, for good measure. Those 3, Bang Bang Boom, 3 very different stories. I would highly recommend all 3 of those. As for manga, anime that I watched this year that I would highly recommend. Agretsuko, I know Robert didn't really like that, but I really, really enjoyed Agretsuko this year. I have plumb forgotten, what I've watched this year.
You've watched.
It's all a huge mess. Attack on Titan Season 3 was really good, but you have to have seen Attack on Titan for that. Megalobox was a fun watch.
How much anime have you watched this year?
50.
50
So much anime.
Yeah.
That's
a lot.
Yeah. How many episodes a week is that?
I don't know. It's not that many. I swear. Yeah. I mean, that's including movies.
Anime a week. Yeah. It's 1 anime a week on average because we're only about week 50.
I don't know how I did that.
I think that's one of my things is that I struggle to watch the 3 episodes. That I don't know. I guess I don't have that anime gene.
I mean, one thing that I've noticed about I've definitely developed a taste, and I tried a lot of shows. A lot of it was stuff me trying genres that I didn't like. I tried Cute Girls Doing X this year.
Yeah.
I tried to watch K-On! I don't mean fucking. I mean just
no. It means doing X. Yeah. Like ecstasy.
Yeah.
You're watching cute girls do X.
I tried K-On!, which is the big one. I tried A Place Further Than the Universe. I learned that I don't like those kinds of shows. I watched Haibane Renmei. I watched heaps of stuff.
Branched out.
I branched out,
horizons,
but I've definitely realized. I mean, okay, so episode 1 or episode 2, I was like, I'm definitely not a weeb, guys. I promise, I'm definitely not a weeb. I think that I have learned that I am definitely a weeb. I really like Japanese media, and that's one thing that I've learned from this year.
You're packing up and moving to Tokyo.
Well, I'm going to Tokyo in 2 weeks. And so I'll be able to tell these guys about it, but you guys won't hear shit.
Maybe if we get enough people, maybe if we get all of the lurkers who've been downloading from Canada and Turkey and Spain. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Our person in Tokyo that's downloaded, or our person in Russia. We've got 5 downloads in Russia. If you've never told us that you like this podcast but you like it, if you write in and tell us that you like it, maybe we'll do a one-off episode of Joel telling us what his experience of Japan was or something.
Yeah, if the demand was there, we would probably make more of an effort.
Yeah.
Curtis is wearing his hat funny now. Are there any shows, Robert, that you are looking forward to in 2019? I know that I haven't taught you with love for it. Are you going to keep watching some anime?
Yes, I'm going to keep watching Attack on Titan until that's finished. I would definitely watch The Promised Neverland if they ever made that into an anime.
I think there's murmurs.
I will definitely watch the 2nd season of One Punch Man.
That's next year.
As and when that comes out. I'll probably continue to watch Land of the Lustrous because I want to know what happens with that. Probably a few others that I'm forgetting at the moment. I don't know of any new ones, obviously, because I'm not into that weebdom and I don't know what comes up. But I'm interested in that any of the season 2s of the things that I enjoy already.
Because Neon Genesis Evangelion is getting a Netflix release in 2019, and I thought they were using the original cast, but they're redubbing it. That would be fun to do, not for the podcast, but...
Yeah, that's another thing. I'm definitely going to continue watching things that I think I would like.
Yeah, okay, so
Neon Genesis and stuff.
That's what I meant, was are you going to, are there things in anime that you have on your radar that you know that you like?
For sure.
Yeah,
Bastard and Berserk, I think, as well.
Those. I'm watching Berserk with my girlfriend at the moment as well, and she's enjoying that. Although it's disappointing that it doesn't continue. I'm about to start rambling. I think that... do you have any honourable mentions that you want to...
Let's see. Junji Ito, is that right? I really enjoyed his artwork, and I never thought when we started this that I would ever get into manga, because I used to really enjoy reading, and now I just don't read anything anymore because I'm always like, it's so much faster to just watch a film.
It's not,
but with manga, I'm like, wow, it's so much faster to just read a chapter of this.
That's the other thing. I've read like over 1,000 chapters of manga this year. I've read
so I can definitely imagine that I would start reading some manga as well.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people find anime and manga off-putting.
Yeah.
Just by looking at it, they, for whatever reason, can't connect to the style necessarily. Do you find that, or do you feel like
sometimes? Yeah. Sometimes with the manga, I find it hard to know how to read it. I never read comic books and graphic novels as a kid. I would always just read novels, and so reading a manga is a little hard for me to know which panels I should read next, because they're not always necessarily linear.
Yeah,
you always start at the top and make your way down, and then manga is right to left.
Yeah, I know that much, but it's never like box on each thing. It's like sometimes there's like a panel that takes up like almost half the page, and then 3 panels down the side of it, and I'm like, do I read that one and then this big one, or do I read the top to bottom on the 3 panels and then the big one? That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a little hard to get into like knowing how to read them sometimes, but the artwork doesn't tend to put me off too much.
No.
If it's black and white, I find that a little hard to read as well, because I can't necessarily pick out what's going on in the scene. If it's very busy and it's all black and white, it's hard for me to pick out what's actually happening in the scene.
Yeah.
Do you find anime style off-putting, Curtis, for the most part?
Some of it, yeah. I thought Revolutionary Girl Utena I wouldn't like at first look.
Yeah.
Because
giant
ass eyes. And that unrealistic sort of nature has always put me off. But I actually did enjoy that art style. I thought it suited the theme, or like, the themes of it, and the sort of target audience, I guess, being cute girls. But yeah, no. So a lot of anime does put me off, but there's I don't know. I think I tend to watch things for visual appeal.
And you don't find anime visually appealing for the most part?
A lot of it, I think, but then I find some really appealing. I do really like. I'm going to screw up the name. Tekken Toppen Gurren.
just Gurren Lagann. I was being a dick.
Gurren Lagann. I find their style. I can't remember the company's name.
Studio Trigger.
Yeah, so like Kill la Kill and stuff like that. The animation technique is a lot different than a lot of companies, and I find they're not only like the visual. Mm-hmm. Standalone drawings, the proportions and the shapes that they use, sharp edges and things like that, I find that appealing. But also like the animation, the over the topness of it, I like, and I also like the pushing towards more real proportions. Things like Akira, or Paprika, those kind of things. I think I'm a snob. I think I like those artsy type of films, or like the ones with real, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say Akira isn't an artsy film, although it's definitely not approachable. But on the topic of realism, the reason I liked anime more when I was a kid was because I really fucking hated and still hate how in the West we, for some reason, draw hands with only 4 fingers.
Yeah.
3 fingers and a thumb.
Yeah.
Why? I hated The Simpsons because they just don't have the extra finger. It's like, why don't you have that finger?
Yeah.
What? And it's common across heaps of Western cartoons, especially for kids.
Yeah.
There is one Simpsons character that has 5 fingers.
Who?
So weird.
The dog?
Nah, it's quite. They use decimal, and there's a YouTube video about like why would the Simpsons use decimal when they've got 8 fingers effectively. And the only reason we use decimals because we got 10.
Yeah.
And it's because God Yeah, it's got 5 fingers. So whenever you see God in The Simpsons, he's the only one with 5 fingers.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds like a very Simpson thing.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. I think I don't know where I stand with Western cartoons and animation in general. I don't know. I think I really like Studio Ghibli is interesting because it's truly Hayao Miyazaki's
baby.
Yeah, he storyboards the whole movie and then they essentially just take those storyboards and animate it to like it's truly his vision, and I like films like that. Akira seems like, looking at the comics, the manga seems like the same thing. I think I like to see those real personalized things, and I think I dislike mass-produced.
There's a lot of that mass-produced stuff. Ooh, bump the mic.
I'm not saying it can't be good, but yeah.
There's a lot of that mass-produced stuff in current anime, like people just trying to target a very niche fetish so that they can sell them merch afterwards, because you don't actually make any money from anime, you have to make it through the merch.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was this year, and I'm going to mispronounce the name, but I think it was Show Me Your Panties and Look at Me Like You're Disgusted.
Very specific.
And the show is exactly what it does, what it says on the tin. Girls lift their skirts, show the guy their panties, and look at him like they're disgusted with him.
Right. You dirty motherfucker.
Yeah, and they're like you disgusted. So I mean,
specific as it gets.
There's a lot of that shit. But hey, it's just a very diverse medium. There are so many stories in anime that you just don't get in the West. At the very least in TV. Like you might get a fantasy novel that is really, high fantasy and high magic, but we just don't get TV shows about that kind of stuff or movies.
Yeah.
And anime are constantly pushing for new ideas, and especially when you look at the movies that are coming out in the West, and I'm about to. I'll wrap up in just a second.
Yeah,
this is getting off the rails.
Yeah.
But we have remakes of the fucking Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, I'm getting so sick of it.
That was the most recent one, which is bad, but it was constant remakes.
Lion King. What's going to happen?
The Disney live-action remakes, which I hate the look of.
Netflix Jungle Book.
Yeah.
It looks like Disney's Jungle Book, which is a remake of Disney's Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Which is a remake of a story.
Just constantly retelling all of the same stories. Robin Hood came out this year. Did you guys watch that?
No,
it looked like shit.
Yeah.
Just retelling the same stuff.
How many times has Robin Hood been told?
Yeah.
Exactly. So at the very least with anime, you get new stories, and sometimes
like a guy who collects rare cans and he
falls
in love with a can of melon soda.
At least it's different, and there's some kind of value in that, and I think that might be a positive way to end the show, not a good way to end the show, because if we've learned anything this year, it's that we don't know what we're doing.
Yep.
Anyway, what's a better way to finish? If we were going to do this all over again, if we were going to do another year of this podcast, what's one thing that we would do differently?
And speak less.
Fair enough.
I would like to watch things that I enjoy.
Also a fair point. I would have given the show a different fucking name. This is so hard to market. What the hell are we doing?
I like puns too much.
It was a good bad name. Friends and Foes. It's been fun, and if we ever do anything else, we'll let you know. I don't know what that would be. It'll be in the future, though, Future Joe might tell you. But until next time, I have been your anime podcast host, Joel.
I was your anime podcast host, Robert.
I was your anime podcast guest, Curtis.
See you, Space Cowboy.